Hello everyone and welcome back to Killer True Fans Killer Toy Reviews. I am very sorry I have been absent lately. I'm actually in the middle of a move right now, but I did want to take some time, make another review for you guys since you have been so patient for me, and I also did want to wait until I got my hands on some of the Series 2, Wave 2 Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom toys, which have been slowly trickling out over the past few weeks. But I was definitely one of the last people to be getting them, it felt like, so I wanted to just wait a little bit to pick some up for you guys, and I think it was worth the wait because today we have got a doozy. We are going to be taking a look at this. The Grab and Growl Indoraptor figure. This is fresh off the shelf. They just got them at Target. I had to ask them to go look in the back because they did not have them out just yet. And I was under the impression that this wasn't going to be released until the fall, part of Wave 3, but I think Mattel might be combining Waves 2 and 3 or releasing Wave 3 early. I'm a little unclear. They had some announcement at Comic-Cons that I never got to see. But my understanding from what I've been asking is that they are releasing Wave 3 a little earlier than anticipated. So these guys are out now, and I will put in the number that I gave them to go look for it for you guys, so that way if you want to, you can go to your local Targets and ask them and see if they have them in the back. But as always, we are going to give you guys a closer look at the packaging, followed by a look at the model itself, and then we're going to show you the gimmicks. So without further ado, let's do this. So if we take a look at the packaging here, open box concept, just like much of Mattel's work so far. You can see on the top corner there, you've got a sound indicator, a light up indicator, and a try me indicator, so that way you can test out your Indoraptor in the store, and I highly recommend that you do to make sure everything is working properly. The backdrop is that beautiful rain-soaked Lockwood estate, similar to the superposable Indoraptor. You've got the Jurassic World logo in the top left corner, Owen in blue down in the bottom left corner where they always are, a 4+ years warning, which I qualify for. The Grab and Growl Indoraptor title there. And there in the bottom right corner, you can see all the different features. You've got a grabbing action, a chomping action, and a thrashing action. The back of the box features the Jurassic World logo once again. If we move down the side, you can get a better look at the various features. There's the grab. You see a little trigger on the tail for how to activate that. A chomp, same thing, a little button on the tail can activate that. And then, of course, the thrashing action, which is just done by rotating the tail about its axis. And here you can see push buttons for grabbing, chomping, light and sound, a little warning about the flashing lights, and there you can see a very unfortunate Minmi, the rather unwilling victim of this Indoraptor here, and there you can get a great look at the Indoraptor itself in diagram form. In the bottom left corner, you can also see other dinosaurs that are already available, the Rorovore, Baryonyx, Allosaurus, Metriacanthosaurus, and Triceratops, all of which have been reviewed on the channel. Link is in the description. Alright, that's enough about the packaging. I say it's time we bust this Indoraptor out of the box. Now, like the Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex, it is all, like I said, open concept box there, and it is completely assembled. You don't have to worry about popping any pieces into place or anything like that, and it is not held in with wire or bands. It is well, I don't know what you would call those things, strips? I don't know. It's held in with these plastic bands, which can be fed back through there very easily. You might not even have to remove them. We're going to see here for you real quick. But the long and short of it is, this guy can go in and out of the box as you please, which is fantastic. So without further ado, we're going to do a little unboxing for you. So here you can see right here, you got some tape. Just going to slide the scissors there, both sides. There we go. Well, it looks like something's still... Okay, oops, my mic just toppled. You might be hearing that, my bad. Okay, so it looks like we've got some glue kind of holding it in right down here. That's unfortunate, but that's okay, I guess. And then if we have a look, you're gonna have to snip the sides here as well. I believe there's no way to avoid that. think it's just easier this way. So there we go. I'm gonna slide the scissors up the side here, doing as little damage as I possibly can to the box itself. As always, be very careful with scissors. There we are. Come on, you. This one's kind of the trickiest one, I would say. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we should be able to fold that up. It looks like there might be one more piece of tape. Yep. So right here as well. I'm sorry if that's not showing. There we go. So there's that, and then there's those. We're going to leave those. You've got rubber bands here. So if we come up here and we just kind of work at them. There we go. One for free. One for free. And now let's see here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to wiggle him out from that like we could do with the thrash and throw. So we're going to go back here, just untape this. And again, this can all be redone. You know, we can retape these down, we can reseal this box, we can do anything. You know, it's pretty non-destructive, this unboxing process for the Indoraptor. Let's see what we can't do here. Get that tape off of there, nasty stuff. And then that is loosened, and it's got these little barbs, so that way it'll hold itself in. So, let's see here. There we go. So it's completely loose. We can just slide him from those plastic bands, and he is free. There is our Indoraptor. And I gotta say, out of the box, he feels fantastic in the hand. I cannot wait to give you guys a closer look at this guy. Let's do this. So there is our Indoraptor, finally free of that cardboard prison, and I gotta say, out of this box, this guy looks absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to give you guys a closer look at this model, and as always, we are going to start off at the head. Now, the first thing about the head that draws my attention are the teeth. They are not as sharp as I was hoping they would be, but I assume Mattel really has to dull them down for safety purposes, but they are much longer and much more eye-catching than the original Indoraptor, and their snaggle and spotted nature really makes this thing look intimidating and crocodilian-like. You have got a rather unfortunate seam at the end of the snout once again, but the sculptural details on this Indoraptor are absolutely gorgeous. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but they have sculpted scales of varying sizes all across the entire head there. The fenestral areas are very well defined. You've got the red stripe behind the eye once again, and there you can really see how much longer those teeth are than the original superposable Indoraptor, and my goodness, that is just so much cooler in my opinion. The head is also much stockier, which I think is much more screen accurate. At the back of the head, you can see the crocodilian-like scalings along with the quills, and if we move down the body, you can see the scaling continues all the way down, and it really is so diverse in all of its shapes and sizes. I mean, my goodness, there is so much detail crammed into this model. It is impressive. The golden stripe starts just behind the base of the skull, as in the superposable one, and then the crocodilian-like scales become much more apparent on the back, just in front of the legs and above the haunches there. You have got more of those rubbery quills, and again, all of those scale details across the midsection are just so apparent. I know it's a little hard to see in the light, it's kind of shining them out, but they are definitely there, and you can definitely see them in person, and they continue all the way down to the tip of the tail. Just absolutely gorgeous amount of detail on this thing. Going back up the opposite side, it's really the same story with all of those scales, the crocodilian-like scoots and ridges, the quills above the haunch there, and then all of the cutouts for the action gimmick. They're not super noticeable, but you can see them. And again, it's for the action gimmick, so I can forgive it. And once again, we come back to that beautiful head. That is just awesome. The legs on this Indoraptor are quite sturdy looking and do feature articulation. As you can see, the articulation points and the musculature have been sculpted in in a nice naturalistic way. The tensing muscles, the bulging of the thighs, it carries the creature forward, all looks fantastic. The claws have been given a nice shellac coating to make them look super hard and deadly, and the plate scaling on the back of the toes is definitely well done. And here you can get a better look at the anatomy in the left leg and all of those muscles in therein. I think this is a very well sculpted model, and I think I've said that 100 times already, but my goodness, is it ever true. The arms feature some lovely musculature in the forearm, and then some plate scaling on the back. Oh no, I guess those are quills. On the back of the arm there. The hand claws once again have that kind of shiny shellac coating, and then there are plate scales on the back of the fingers as well. The palms feature some lovely sculptural lines there, and there you can get a better look at the plate scalings along the back. And I mean, just look at that. Look at the little webbing between the fingers. I mean, my goodness, Mattel really addressed everything. I mean, look at the underbelly, pebble-like scales on the lower jaw, wrinkles and folds of skin in the pectoral region. There you can see the sound box. Looks like Blue got a hold of that and just kind of clawed that out. Okay, that's kind of nasty looking. And then, of course, the feet, everyone's favorite part because they get the QR code. There you can see on the right foot, the Jurassic World coat of arms has been moved from the thigh to the bottom of the foot. And on the left foot, we'll give you a nice clean look at that QR code for the Jurassic World Facts app. So if you want to scan that into your phone, now is the time to do so. Now for the posability of this model, I will say it's not quite as good as the original. I mean, the legs can go forward. They do have their snap-in points. You can hear it there. You can really hear it just snap into place. And then the ankles can be rotated forward and backwards at the knee and around at that ball and socket joint. And it's the same on both sides. The leg goes forward, backwards, the ankle. I mean, you can go really far forward, and then the leg rotates and has its snap-in positions. The arms are not superposable on this guy, given its action feature of the clawing, grabbing. The wrist can be rotated around, and the elbows do bend, but you can't really move the shoulder. You can move it a little further forward, but that's it. And then on the opposite side, you can't move that forward at all, and then you can't really move it in and out because that's what it does with the clawing action. But you can move the elbow. It's kind of hard, and I really don't like forcing it, but it can be done, and then the wrist does rotate just like the other one. So you can kind of change the position of the hands. And then, of course, you've got the thrashing motion, you know, the carve-out allows you to do all of these different motions here. But it's not really a posable thing, it's just kind of a movement thing. But, you know, I mean, just because it's not as posable as the Ultimate, well, can I move the feet like that? No, I can't. No, I'm not going to force it. You can rotate the ankles, but you can't rotate the feet. As I was saying, just because it's not as posable as the first Indoraptor doesn't mean it's not as good. I mean, all of the play features are fantastic, if he'll stand again, and we're going to give you a closer look at those here pretty quick. So yeah, do wish for more posability in the arms, but I'll forgive it on that grounds because it is for the action gimmick. Now for the overall size of this Indoraptor, it is a little bigger than the superposable Indoraptor, and we'll bring that in a little bit. But if we get our trusty dusty tape measure here and go from the back of the tail all the way to the front of the snout, you're looking at right around 17 inches long, which is about 43.5 centimeters. And from the base to the top of the head, bear in mind you can change the height with the legs posability. It's about 9 inches or 23 centimeters tall in this particular pose. And this is kind of as high up as you can get him, so I thought that was a good basis to measure him on. Now for size comparison, here is the Indoraptor next to a slightly smaller Indoraptor. I know that's not very helpful, but this is the superposable Indoraptor, and as you can see, it is not quite as large as the Grab and Growl Indoraptor. I assume that's because they had to make it bigger to house all of the mechanics and gimmicks and whatnot, so they had to kind of blow it up. So the posable one may be more in scale with your human figures and the other dinosaur figures. But I do want to talk about a few key features here, such as the head. And now, as I was saying, you can see here the head on the Grab and Growl Indoraptor is much stockier. The teeth are fewer and far between and are much longer than in that of the Poseable Indoraptor, and I just think the skull overall is much more Tyrannosaurus Rex in nature than the poseable version, whereas that one is much more Velociraptor in nature. And then speaking of stockiness, oh my goodness, look at how much wider this Grab and Growl Indoraptor is. It is one thick dinosaur, thick with a Q, this Indoraptor. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, this Indoraptor. But yeah, so those are two very, very big differences that I noticed between these two models, is just their overall girth, and the head is very different on the Grab and Growl Indoraptor. Now, if you ask me the magic question of which one should I get, because I'm not a completist like you are, Killer Shrew fan, I don't need every single dinosaur that comes out, and I have self-control unlike you, Killer Shrew fan, so which of these should I get? Well, really, that depends on what you're into. The Grab and Growl Indoraptor is much more of a toy with easily triggered action features, whereas the superposable Indoraptor is more of a collector thing where you can just pose it and make it in any stance that you want, so it would be good for dioramas or dinosaur toy photography. Now, of course, we gotta show off the gimmicks. So as our unwilling victim, we have a Pachycephalosaurus, one of the few things I have out right now. And if you sneak up behind him, you can just trigger the grabbing feature and grab him. It's not a very strong grab, but then again, the Pachy is kind of a big model for this to be doing for, but I mean, you can kind of get an idea of the action feature, and then you can hear the sound and the light of eyes that come with it. Then, of course, the bite, if you just growl. There you can see the light of eyes, and you can hear the sounds. So yeah, about two different sounds with the growl and the grab, and then, of course, the head. The head can hold the model, as you can see. I mean, it is kind of a heavy dude, so it'll probably work very well with the human figures that come from the Mattel lineup. But then if you grab the tail, you can just kind of thrash it about and toss that Pachycephalosaurus away. Just everything is hidden in the tail here, like the mouth. There's a trigger on the bottom of the tail, the arms. There's a trigger on the back of the tail, and then you can do all the thrashing and everything from the back as well. And I mean, it just gives you so much fluid motion. I kind of have to talk over him right now. I'm sorry about that, but the fact that it is all just in one area, so incredibly easy to trigger, makes this a great toy. Whereas with the Poseable Indoraptor, you had to pause and move the arm and pose it however you needed it at the time. But then this one, you just go for it, you know? My only grievance is that the hand motion is in a grabbing feature and not in a clawing feature. But, you know, I mean, I can forgive that. I mean, this just feels like he's clapping his hands or something. I would have preferred clawing, but that might be just me. I don't know. Maybe it is just me, but that's just my one grievance. Beyond that, I think these action features here are absolutely insane, and the posing options make it all the better. God, he is so noisy. I am so sorry. This has to be the most muddled sounding review of all time. I mean, and then just look at this. Look at this. You can pose it like this. It looks absolutely fantastic, and then it's got the sound effects and everything to boot, and the thrashing action. I mean, it's awesome. Well, everyone, that is going to do it for our look at the Grab and Growl Indoraptor, new for Wave 2 by Mattel for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Overall, I think this is a fantastic toy. Yes, that's right, it is a toy in every sense of the word. I mean, it's got awesome gimmicks, awesome action features that are so easily manipulated from one specific point. You don't have to stop and push a button on the back of the head to make it chomp. You don't have to push a button on the back to make the arms move. It's all just on the tail, which is just great planning on Mattel's part. And honestly, if you were to ask me which one you should go for, this or the Superposable, I would say the Grab and Growl 10 times out of 10. I mean, I think it's just a great, great toy. As always, I would love to hear what you guys think of this model. Have you picked it up yet? I know it is new. I will put the number in the description for you guys. That way you can go to your local Target and see if they have it yet. Are you going to pick it up? Do you prefer the Superposable one? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and being patient while you waited on this review. I really do love your support, and if you feel we earned it, don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and also don't forget to subscribe. I got a lot more reviews coming your way. Some Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, others not. Thanks again, and bye-bye. Rah, 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 rah.